Hi everyone, this is Maria from BemisReviewsBooks.com, and welcome to November 2016 edition of Book Chat. I am late this month recording. It is pretty much the end of the month. So this is going up late. I apologize for that. I am going to make this as brief as possible. I do have a couple of things that I wanted to go over. So I'm going to get to the books very soon. These are the books that I have currently finished and reviewed, and they are posted up on the blog. I'm also going to go over briefly what I am currently reading, but before I do that, I just wanted to mention to everybody that the blog is a total work in progress. It's been this way since I started it a year ago. So if you go onto the reviews page and you don't see a review that I might have spoken about here, you need to scroll down. I'm working on archiving old reviews and streamlining the page. I'm just not there yet, so I apologize for that. All of the reviews for the books I'm going to be speaking about today are already on the blog. So again, you might need to scroll down. Sometimes I change the order, and that usually has to do with the publication dates and highlighting what is coming out and actually giving that top billing. So I apologize for my mess of a blog, but it is what it is right now. So on to the books. Book number 1, Cruising into Caregiving by Jennifer Fitzpatrick. Publication date on this book is September 27th, 2016, so this is fairly recent. This book is amazing. It actually came across my queue. I wasn't sure that I was going to read it. It is all about elder caregiving and specifically talks about primary, secondary, and tertiary caregivers. She gives a full definition on what those roles encompass. I love this book because even though I am not a caregiver, I just had an interest in the subject matter for personal reasons, and I found her book to be amazing in terms of the resources that she offers and the tips that she offers. She's totally non-judgmental, which I love about her. Fitzpatrick is actually a gerontologist with over 20 years experience, so I felt very confident that this is a woman who really knows what she's talking about, and she also drew from other experts in the field, and they became a part of the book as well. She did an amazing job on this book. And I definitely not only recommend reading it, I recommend owning it, especially if you are a caregiver or think that you may become one day. So highly recommend that book. Cruising into Caregiving by Jennifer Fitzpatrick. Next book up, Fractured by McKenzie. Publication date is October 4th, 2016. So this is a book about a famous author, a stalker, and a town busybody. So these are a few of the players in this very fast, frenetic paced book about a famous novelist who finds trouble everywhere she goes. And she has had to pick up and move. The book opens with her having just moved in to a new home with her husband and young children, and basically it goes from there. Very entertaining. I definitely recommend it. So BRB rating on this one is definitely read it. Next book up, How to Change a Law by John Thibault. I'll spell his last name. It's Thibault. Thibault or Thibault. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. This book is interesting. It's a good overview of the law, and it's a basic understanding of policy and change. However, it's lacking in full disclosure. The book actually reads like a set of directions. It's actually meant as an adjunct to Thibault's website, ilobby.co. This website that he has started is a political platform lobbying and debate network. So one thing that I didn't love about the book was the issue disparity is not covered. The issues themselves really do matter. It really depends on what your issue is. Not everything is going to be covered. You actually don't need the book to navigate the website. The website is user-friendly enough and easy enough to navigate where you don't need to read the book. But I found the book interesting, and the reason that I put it on the list and gave it the rating of read it is because so few people understand how to affect change, signing petitions and, rallying with posters and picketing. I don't feel that these are the most effective means out there. And I think that this book kind of sheds some light on what it really takes to affect a change and to take a policy or a law and either write your own or change one that's already in existence. So I thought this was an interesting start. And you can certainly go and check out Thibault's website, ilobby.co, if you're interested in finding out more about this topic. All right, next book up, The Survivor's Guide to Family Happiness by Maddie, Dawson. Publication date is October 25th, 2016. This is kind of a sweet tale. It's a sweet story about an adopted single woman who goes on an all-out quest to find her birth family. And ultimately, it's a story about where she belongs in the world, and really it's about creating family from the people that are around you and the people that you want. So it goes outside the box of traditional family, and it kind of starts to explore the topic of other types of families. I thought that it was extremely well done in that way. Definitely not a favorite, but I definitely think that this is worth a read. It's worth your time. So BRB rating is read it. Next book up, The Stranger by Harlin Coben. This is not a new book, actually, but it's been on my list for a while, so I pulled it out and I'm just going to briefly go over it. Harlin Coben is one of my all-time favorite mystery writers. He takes the dark world of secrets and basically kind of blows it open and really showcases the detrimental effects of holding on to secrets and what they do to a family. You've got the lovable protagonist, the great all-American dad. You've got the sleazy bad guys who live among him right under his nose. You've got the dark underbelly of the suburban family lifestyle. It's Harlin Coben. It's a great book. It's a great read. It'll go super fast. You'll be done with it in no time. It's one of those in a sitting type of books. So again, definitely if you haven't read it already and you like mysteries, you haven't read Harlin Coben, I don't know where you've been, but if you haven't, The Stranger is definitely a worthwhile read. Okay, so that's it no, actually, that's not it. There is one more, and here's why, because I actually wrote up the script before I finished reading. Okay, I meant to read this book last year. Did You Ever Have a Family by Bill Clegg. I did not get a chance to read it last year. I put in I don't know if I actually petitioned to read it online, but for some reason, I don't know what happened. Something happened. I never got a chance to read it last year. So it's definitely been on my list for a while. I finally picked it up and I finished it. This is a tragic story about a woman who loses her entire family in one fell swoop due to a very quirky, tragic accident. She is the only one spared. All of her family died under one roof, and she basically it's about mourning, it's about grieving, it's about finding her way or finding your way back from something so horrific. And it was actually beautifully real, raw, poignant, all about family. It really kind of goes very deep into a place of emotion where words don't work. And believe it or not, it's a book with, obviously made up of words. But if you've read the book, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I loved that book so much. And I was actually going to put it on my 2016 BRB favorite books of the year list. But because the publication date was 2015, I left it off. But I do love this book so much. So what am I reading now? Okay, we're going to start with Paradigm Falls. I am almost done. I'm about 3/4 of the way through. Again, I mention this all the time. I'm not going to say anything else. I am still reading it. It is a really heavy read. And, it's just one of those things. It's a journey. There are some books that, again, I blow right through in no time at all, maybe even a sitting. And then there are other books like Paradigm Falls, which are, so worth the time and effort, but take much longer and sometimes, months to get through. So I'm still working on that. I'm hoping by the next book chat, I'll have that one done and reviewed. What am I reading besides that? Okay, I have some visuals, yay me. Real Food, Fake Food by Larry Olmstead. So Larry Olmstead is an investigator journalist in the foodie world, and this book is so depressing. I am one of those people that I need to know. I want to know. It's so depressing to find out how much of our food is fake, is fraudulent, is adulterated, is just unbelievable crap. So the great thing about this book is he goes through, each chapter is about a particular food. So you've got olive oil, which is notorious for fraudulent behavior and fakery. Parmesan cheese is another, wine. We're covering all different areas, and I think it's better to know than to not know. But this book is a little bit rough to get through because it makes you feel like you can't eat anything, and you kind of have to sort of dig your way out of that. But very informative. I think we need more books like this written by investigative journalists because there's a lot that goes on, and I think that consumers play a huge role. When you don't ask questions and when you don't demand better, you don't get better. And you can't be, we live in a world now where you cannot be outraged after the fact and do nothing leading up to it. It just doesn't work. So Real Food, Fake Food, about halfway through, interesting book, cannot wait to review it. Next book, I love this one. I've got my shopping list as a bookmark here. The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapena, or Lapena, Lapena. This is a suspense thriller. It's fiction. It is about a young couple with a newborn baby, and they go out, they leave the baby at home alone to go just next door to a dinner party. They're checking on the baby via baby monitor every half an hour. However, the baby gets kidnapped, gets taken out of the house. So the parents end up becoming the prime suspects, and basically the police are trying to piece together the story and what really happened. The couple next door who hosted the dinner party figure prominently into the story. They have a secret that they're holding on to. I'm actually about 2/3 of the way through, so that secret is about to be revealed now. That's the part I'm up to. They definitely have a stake in finding out what happened to the baby. And so far, this couple has remained silent, so this should be interesting. I highly recommend this one. This is, again, one of those in a sitting type books where if that is something that you practice, gulping down a book in one sitting, if you would stay up all night to read a book because you were really super into the story, I would say that this book would fit the bill for you. Okay. That is it. I am going to try to be a little bit more scheduled for December. We'll see what happens in terms of book chat for that month. I also am probably between now and then going to record a brief list of my favorites for 2016 because I like to do that. And I actually do have a list, so that is something to look forward to for next month. And that is all I have for this month. Happy holidays. We're right in the thick of it. I hope that everybody is enjoying the holidays so far and that you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. I will see you next month on Bemis Reviews Books Book Chat. Take care, everyone.